Good morning, everyone. Brooke here. We're going to do a 45-minute classic Pilates routine, one that will help you strengthen your core muscles and stretch and lengthen all of your muscles. And we're going to go ahead and get started. The only equipment we're going to use today is the softball and a resistance band. But if you don't have the equipment, you can still get a good workout without it. So don't worry about it too much. So we're going to have a look at your feet. Just check that your feet are parallel and about hip width apart. Start reaching and lengthening through the top of your head and button your rib cage down slightly towards your hips, just drawing in through the belly button and lifting the pelvic floor. Take a big breath in, reach your arms overhead. And then as you breathe out, come up onto your toes, and we're just going to lengthen, reaching through the fingertips. And just drop your heels down to the mat, and then breathe out, lift them back up. Inhale, lower the heels, exhale, lift. Stay there for 3 and 2. One more. Try to hold it nice and high. Try to pull your ankles slightly together, and then reach your arms out to the side, lengthening again through the arms as you slowly lower your heels down to the mat. As you breathe out, we're going to lift the arms up and bend your knees. Now look down, check that your knees are right over your toes and not pulling in together or rolling out apart. And try to push your chest forward, kind of push your ribs slightly forward, arching into your lower back. Pull your arms almost behind your ears and just hold that low squat for a big breath in. As you breathe out, stay in your low squat, but reach your arms a bit forward and then down past your sides, and then reach the arms behind you, pulling your shoulder blades together. Imagine you're trying to pinch a pencil between your shoulder blades. Now staying again in your low squat, we're going to reach the arms back overhead. Again, pulling those arms almost behind your ears, drawing the belly button in. And then as you lower your arms down, we're going to lean forward and start straightening your legs out. And then just fold forward over your legs. Give that for a stretch through the back of your hamstrings. And I want you to just let your head hang and think about your neck really lengthening down towards the mat, the crown of your head reaching towards the floor. If you can touch the floor, great. If you don't get that low, then just let your hands hang as low as they go. And start nodding your head, drawing your chin into your chest, feeling stretch at the back of the neck. And then shake your head side to side. Just think about loosening and lengthening your neck once again. Good. I want you to bend your knees and get your hands all the way down to the mat if they're not already there. And start walking your hands forward, coming out, walking out into a nice high plank. So your shoulders are right over your hands, your ears are in line with your shoulders, hips in line with the shoulders. And then I want you to drop your knees down to the mat with a big breath in, and then breathe out, lift the knees back up. Now try to keep the hips where they are. Hinge at the hips, almost pulling the knees forward to get those knees down to the mat. What I don't want is the hips to sink down as the knees go down like I've just done. So imagine you're trying to balance a cup of tea in the middle of your back, trying to keep those hips level with the shoulders. And come to the tips of the toes to pull the knees forward. Last one, breathing in as you lower, breathe out as you lift. And I'm going to lift the hips all the way up. Press into your heels, almost walking your feet slightly forward to hold a downward dog stretch. So really arching into your lower back once again, getting the tailbone pointing up to the ceiling. And then walk your hands back towards your feet with your legs straight. Then we soften the knees, drop the chin to the chest, round your spine, and roll yourself slowly back up to standing. Once your head comes up, just again, find that length. Think about your rib to hip connection. And just roll and circle your shoulders back. We're going to do 3 circles backwards. And then circle 3 times forward. Good. And slide your right hand down the side of your leg and lengthen your left hand up to the ceiling. So you can see from the side, just reaching from the tips of my right hand down, or sorry, my left hand down to that left foot. So just try to open up the left side of the body, open up the rib cage, stretch your oblique at the side of the waist, and then change the arms. Reach your right arm up to the ceiling, left arm slides down the side of the body. Try not to lean to the left, just lengthen, reach right up to the ceiling from the tip of the right hand to the heel of that right foot. And then take the hand down to your side, drop your chin down to your chest, run around the spine once again, just folding forward over your legs. And I want you to hang here for a moment. Bend your right knee, keep your left leg straight, try to push into your left heel and lengthen up the back of that leg right up to your hamstring. And then change the legs, bend your left knee, press into your right heel, try to stretch up the back of that leg, lengthening up to that sit bone. And then one more time each way, right knee bends, left leg is straight. Again, if you can touch your mat, great. If your hands are just hanging over your legs, that's fine too, just as long as you're feeling that stretch through the hamstrings. Now bend both knees, get the hands all the way down to the mat, walk your hands forward, breathing out as you come forward. And we're going to come into some push-ups. Lift the head, slide the shoulders down the back, lead with your chest as you lower the chest down to the mat, then breathe out, press the mat away. Feel free to modify dropping down to your knees if you need to do that to keep your alignment. Inhale, lower, exhale, or you can make it a little bit smaller if you need to. Try to pull your elbows in towards your rib cage. Let's aim for 3 more the whole time, making sure that head doesn't hang forward. And 2. Last 1. Press the mat away, get the blood flowing. Lift your hips high, press into your heels again. Press into the heels of the palms and the heels of your feet. And then step your hands back towards your feet. Soften the knees, round the spine, roll yourself back up to standing, articulating every joint, just waking up the back as you come back to a nice, perfect posture. And then breathe out. We're going to lift the arms up again, bend the knees, arch into the lower back, push the chest forward. Stay low in your squat as you take your hands down along your sides, pull the pinkies to the wall behind you, pinch the shoulder blades together. One more time, lift the arms up overhead. And then again, reaching the arms back down to your sides. And then just straighten the legs up, take the hands down to your hips, drop your chin to your chest, and then going from the arch back into a flex back, rounding the spine and rolling down, hanging over your legs. One last time, and we're just gonna swing your arms left and right. Swing your torso side to side. The hips should move in opposition to your shoulders. So the hips go left as the shoulders go to the right. Just feeling a little bit of a stretch through your lower back. And then come back to the center, soften the knees, hands down to the mat. Last plank variation. We're gonna breathe out, walk your hands forward. Hold that strong plank, sliding shoulder blades down the back. Lift your right leg up, point the toe up to the ceiling. Try to press into your left heel, then drop that right knee under the body to the left elbow. Inhale as you lift, try to keep your left leg straight. Exhale, lower. 2 more times here. Take it nice and slow. Lift and lengthen, stretch. And then strengthen as the knee comes down to the body. One more time. Lift and stretch. And then lower and strengthen. Back to your plank before we do the other side. Start lifting the left leg up. Reach the toe up to the ceiling. Press into your right heel. Left knee to right elbow. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. 2 more. Lift. And lower. Last one, from high to low. Back to your plank, holding a strong plank for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop your knees down to the mat, sit back onto your heels, stretch your arms, stretch your back, rest your head. Good. Now I want you to come to sitting and grab your ball. If you don't have a ball, grab a cushion, or you can even use a towel, fold it up. I want you to place the ball between your knees. Hands directly beneath your shoulders, knees beneath your hips, back nice and straight. We're going to tuck the toes under. And already before we're starting to lift those knees up, I want you to draw in with the belly button. So imagine there's a tall candle underneath you. Just trying to draw your belly button up away from that feet. And a little bit of a pelvic floor lift as well. Drawing the sit bones together and lifting the perineum. We're going to lift the knees just 1 inch or so up off the mat, maybe 2 inches. Just staying on the tips of those toes and really draw and squeeze your ball tight. Lift the pelvic floor. And then inhale, lower the knees back down to the mat. As you exhale, again, lift the knees back up. Draw in, strong abdominal connection. Almost like you're creating a vacuum through the abdominals. Inhale, lower the knees back down to the mat. So as the air escapes you, really try to push all the air out of your lungs. Drawing and feeling that void, that scoop and hollowness. Inhale, lower the knees back down. One last time as we go. Again, we're always squeezing that ball as the knees come up, getting that inner thigh connection, which helps with the deep abdominals and the pelvic floor connection. And again, kind of squeeze all the air out, and then inhale, lower the knees down to the mat. Good, we're going to take the ball away, change position, flipping onto your back. Feel free to grab a quick sip of water anytime we change positions. Good. So now we're lying on our back, reaching from the tips of the fingers to the tips of the toes, really trying to, again, lengthen the body. Take a deep breath in, expanding the ribs as you inhale. And then as you breathe out, lift the hands, lift the head, peel your spine out, try to keep your feet down, and then stretch forward over your legs. Breathe in, articulate the spine into a nice long, straight back, perfect posture. And then breathe out, lead with your lower back. Squeeze your legs together, lengthen the legs as the spine just drops back down to the mat 1 vertebra at a time. Inhale, lift the arms overhead, and then exhale. Curl up 1 more time, stretch forward. Breathe in as we lengthen and straighten. Slide the shoulders down away from the ears. Breathe out, and we're going to just come halfway back this time. Take your right hand, reach it back to that right corner of the mat. Inhale back to the center. Left hand goes back to the left corner of the mat. Inhale back to the center. So really try to turn your shoulders, but keep your hips and your feet really anchored down to the mat. So there's no movement through the pelvis. We're just narrowing at the waist as we twist and center and twist and center. Last 4. So you can drop the shoulders a little lower. 3, 2, and 1. Come back to that starting point. Hands in front. And we're just going to go down an inch. Squeeze and stretch your legs a little longer. Down 1 more inch. Hold. And then come all the way down onto your back. And pull your knees into your chest. Add a little bit of movement side to side. Just easing out any tension through the lower back. Now lift your head and shoulders up off the mat, draw your chin into your chest. We're going to take the hands down along the sides of the legs and try to stretch your legs out to a 45-degree angle. Turn your toes slightly out. So you've got a little V between your heels and really squeeze the inner thighs, scoop the belly button, and start moving your arms. Pumping the arms as you breathe in for 4 beats. And then flip your arms as you breathe out for 4. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, and out. 2. So look down towards your abdominals. Make sure nothing is lifting up or doming. If it is, pull your knees in. Make the movement a little bit lighter so you can control those abdominals. Make sure your deep abdominals are able to pull the surface layer of muscle in. If it's not strong enough to pull that surface layer in, you're going to see a bulge through the middle of your abdominals. And that's when you need to pull in a little bit, make it a little smaller so you regain that control. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, breathe out. 2. Think pelvic floor as well. That will help you to engage the deep abdominals. Lift the perineum. Draw your sit bones together. Lift the back passage. 2, 3, 4. So you can get the legs any lower if you feel like you have that control. Let's aim for 2 more breaths. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4. Last one. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4. Good. Take the shoulders back. Draw the knees in. If you feel any tension or strain through the neck, just turn your head to the right, stretching the neck, and then over to the left. Just moving your head side to side. Okay, let's hug your right knee into your chest. Extend your left leg long. Try to get that left leg really straight. Point the toe to where the wall meets the ceiling in front of you. Then lift your head and shoulders up off the mat. Draw in, and then again switch the legs. So strong exhale with each knee pull. Head and shoulders are high up off the mat unless you're feeling straining through the neck. Then we can take the head down to the mat if you want to modify it. Let's aim for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we pull both knees in and take the hands behind the head to support that neck. Then twist. Take your elbow. If you can, touch the elbow to the opposite knee and change. Feel the obliques, the sides of the waist tightening as you twist. Stay there. Make sure your knees and your feet track in line with your hips so the knees don't turn out to the sides. Everything tracks perfectly in alignment. 8, 7. Try to keep the elbows wide. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take the shoulders back. Draw the knees in. Take a big breath. And then lift your knees up to our tabletop position. So your shins make a tabletop. Your knees are directly over your hips. Sink the ribs down. Just pull the sides of the waist together. Little bit of space under your lower back. You've got that natural curve of the lumbar spine. I'm going to drop both knees down to the right as you turn your head to the left. And then breathe out. Lift the knees back to the center line. Drop the knees down to the left as you turn your head to the right. And then again, breathing out. Feel the soft tissue pulling in, drawing in, narrowing the waist as you pull the knees back up. And then think about mobility, about that twist through the spine. Keeping the shoulders anchored, but letting the hips really roll as you turn from one side to the other. Let's go one more time each way. Try to keep the knees right over the hips. Try to keep the feet lifted. Last one, inhale down. Exhale, lift the knees back up. Now lift your head and shoulders up off the mat and stretch both arms, both legs into a long double leg stretch. Look towards the abdominals. Inhale, tuck the knees in. Exhale, stretch. And tuck. And reach. And tuck. Stay here for 8. And 7. Again, you've got that option to let the head and shoulders come down to the mat if you need to. If you're feeling any strain through the neck, or take one hand behind the head. Last 5. And 4. Try to keep your feet together, knees together. 3, 2, and 1, and then drop the head and shoulders down for that. Pull your knees into your chest. Good, now I want you to grab your ball and let's place the ball under the pelvis. Again, if you don't have a ball, you can use a cushion, you can use a towel. Lift your knees up to tabletop. Take your hands to your knees and almost push the knees slightly away from you as you get that isometric push and pull between the hands and your knees. I want you to feel your abdominals drawing in a little tighter. So the hands push away, the knees pull back into the body, and we feel the abdominals tighten. Good, now we're going to take those hands and lift the fingertips up to the ceiling. Keep your shins parallel to the floor, and then lower your right toe down to the mat. Inhaling, then breathe out. Lift the right knee back up. One leg at a time. Lower your left toe down to the mat. Exhale, lift back up. Make sure you come back into that tabletop position each time those knees come back together. Make sure the feet don't start to sink down towards the floor. Keep your shins parallel to the floor. Think about your rib cage, really closing the ribs, pressing the lowest back rib down onto the mat. You draw in with the abdominals. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Breathe into lower. Breathe out to lift. Now we're going to hold the next one. Now we're going to add some arms and extend the leg to straight. So I want you to extend the right arm and your left leg. Reach the toe to the wall in front of you. Reach the fingertips to the wall behind. And come back to that dead bug position as we started. Left arm, right leg. Exhale, lift. All the while drawing in with the abdominals. Staying still and stable on the ball. Breathing out and in. Stay there for 4 and 3. So imagine a pool of water in the belly button. Try to deepen that pool. Last 2 and 1. Take the hands back up to the ceiling. Now we're going to lower both legs. Now we're going to squeeze your feet together, squeeze your knees together. Inhale, lower both legs down to the mat. Tap the toes. Exhale, lift them back up. Keep that lowest back rib down. Inhale, lower the legs. Now if that feels too strong, just go back to your single legs. Just alternate the legs. Let's aim for 4 more. Inhale down. Exhale up. And 3 again. Remember that hollowness, that scooping through the deep abdominals. Imagine drawing your hip bones together, getting the lower abdominals tightening. And last one. Inhale down. Exhale up. And this time I want you to pull your knees all the way into your chest. Use your hands to help you hug those knees in. And take the hands to the backs of your calves and just try to extend your legs. So to straighten the legs out. Sink your shoulders down. Try to push your tailbone down into the ball to get a little bit more stretch and lengthening through your hamstrings. Then hold your right leg, let your left leg drop down. So it's almost like you're doing the splits upside down. Now, depending on your flexibility, you may have your knees bend. We just try to work towards the straight legs. We don't have to automatically get those straight legs, just working towards that. And then if you can, drawing that right leg into your chest a little further as you let that left leg just sink down towards the mat. And then we're going to change the legs. So left leg comes in, right leg drops out long. Sink your shoulders down. Again, we're working towards the straight legs. So just sometimes if you bend your knees and then actively straighten them back out, it will help you get a little straighter than you naturally start with. And then we try to pull that left leg in, feel the right leg just dropping heavier down to the mat. And then just drop the right foot all the way down, follow with your left. So we're going to lift up off the ball and take the ball away. Good, knees to chest, chin to chest. We're going to curl up into a little ball, and I want you to roll yourself up to sitting all the way onto your feet. And then grab your band. Now again, if you don't have a band, you could actually use a belt or a towel or something. Here, we're just going to wrap it around your feet. Try to lift your feet up, click your shoulders back, think nice proud chest. So imagine hooks in your chest. Try to lift the chest up, lift your chin up. Then we're going to extend the legs as you breathe out. Bend the knees as you breathe in. Extend and bend. Let's go for 8 and 7. You do have an option to do this without the band. 5. Keep going. 4, 3, 2. Last one. Pull the knees into the chest. Try to lift the chest, get your posture a little bit more perfect, and then try to extend your legs. Bend the knees and extend and bend. One more time. Extend and bend. Now we're going to roll back. Make sure you've got enough mat behind you, round your spine. Roll back to your shoulders. Roll up to your balance. So you can extend your arms and legs into a teaser pose when you come into that balance. Then again, tuck the knees into the chest. Roll back to the shoulders, up to the balance. Stretch everything long. and tuck it back in, rolling back to the shoulders, into your balance. Nice round spine and going into your straight back. Last one, knees to chest, roll back, roll forward. And then we're gonna try this without the band. So I'm gonna take that band to the side. If you feel like you do need that band, go ahead, keep using it. Knees to chest. We're gonna roll back to your shoulders, up to your balance. So I'm gonna extend the arms and legs. Then hands to your ankles, tuck the knees in, roll back to the shoulders, up to your balance. Extend. Last time. Rolling back and up. And reach. And then just slowly let your feet come down to the mat. Fold forward over your legs, grabbing onto your ankles, the backs of your legs, your feet, wherever you can reach, and really drawing down with your chest to pull your elbows into the sides of your legs. And then come up to sitting. And then flip over to all fours. Good. We're going to focus on our legs now a little bit more. And the abdominal. I'm going to come down to your elbows and slide your right leg back long along the mat. Shoulders down away from the ears, press the mat away, scoop the belly button in, and we're going to start lifting that right leg up. Looks long, straight leg, and down. Breathe out and in. So just some things to think about. Pelvis should be level. So I want that right hip pointing down to the mat. We're not leaning into our left hip. If you look at that left hip, it should be right over your knees. Try to keep your head lifted. So don't let the head just kind of hang down between your arms. Think about your shoulder blades. Slide the shoulders down the back and lift your spine up between your shoulder blades, like you're actively pressing them out away and slightly pulling your elbows apart. Now the next one, we're going to hold that leg up, bend the knee, point the toe to the ceiling, pull the rib cage up and in, engage the thumbs and pulse up like you're tapping your toe up to the ceiling, poking holes in the ceiling with that toe. Stay there for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now breathe in, lower the knee down to the mat. Breathe out, stretch your leg long. So bend and extend. Breathe in and out. Again, check the other things. Spine lifting between the shoulder blades, elbows pulling apart, left hip over the left knee, right hip pointing to the mat. So for 4, squeezing the glute. So your focus here is your right glute. Your left leg may start to build up a little bit of tension as well. That's totally normal. We're going to stretch and extend the last one. Lift that leg a little higher, and then slowly, as if you're pushing down heavy weight, slowly take that right foot down to the mat. Lift the lower back as the foot goes down. Now we're going to sweep the leg, circle it around, trying to stabilize your upper body. Think about that leg like a compass, just big, perfect circles, and getting that friction with the end of the mat, and sweeping up, back, and around. Stay there for 6 and 5, long, strong leg. 4, strong upper body. 3, 2, and 1. And then take the foot back down to the middle point of the mat. Again, check your upper body, check the core is still tight, and then take the foot to the corner of your mat. And we're going to rotate that leg outwards. Stretch, lengthen through the toe. So your pinky toe points up to the ceiling as we lift that leg up and down. Breathe out as you lift. Breathe in as you lower. Your leg is going out to the corner of your mat. As it goes up, it goes to the top corner of the room, just hitting that glute muscle from slightly different angle. Stay there for 6 and 5. Last 4, 3, 2, and then hold the last one up. Stay there for 4, 3, 2, 1, and then pull the knee back down to the mat. Stretch out your back, sit back onto your heels, stretch out your arms, and rest your head. Good. Now we set up to the other side. So back to the elbows, lace the fingers together, slide your left leg back, zip the core up and away, slide the shoulder blades down the back, and start lifting and lower, keeping that right leg strong. So there should be a little bit of burn, a little bit of tension in that right leg. Try to use that. Just keep that muscle staying strong so you don't just collapse into the right hip. And let's start thinking about your left glute. Squeezing that muscle at the top of the movement. Stay there for 4, 3. Try not to use the momentum as you lift the leg up, like you're pushing it through wet cement and never going too fast. Hold this last one. Bend the knee. Kind of tuck the knee into the midline, pull the ribs up and away, and pulse up like you're poking holes in the ceiling. Big lift. Stay there. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Breathe in, lower the knee down to the mat. Breathe out, stretch the leg long. Inhale and exhale. Let's aim for 6 and 5. Again, looking off the end of the mat. Last 3. Gonna lift that leg high. Last 1, we hold the leg up and long, and then slowly, like you're pushing down a heavy weight, slowly lower that foot down to the center point of the mat. Lift your lower back, scoop the core a little tighter, sweep the leg out to the left, circle it around. Kind of sweeping out, up and around, stabilizing your shoulders, stabilizing your rib cage, stabilizing your pelvis, those deep abdominals, that corset muscle, as you do those big movements with your left leg. Slow but big. Stay there for 5 and 4. Last 3, 2, and 1. And then the foot comes back down to the center line of the mat. Just check your alignment, check your posture. Make sure you're not sinking into your shoulder blades. Take the left toe out to the corner of the mat, rotate the leg, and then lift, leading with that pinky toe at a long diagonal and lower. So each time the foot comes down, it comes down to that left corner of the mat. Just check that that right hip is still over the knee. We're not leaning too much into our right side to get that leg, left leg up. And for 6. Again, slow and controlled. 5, 4, 3. So the upper body is working hard. That's 2 and 1. Take the foot down to the mat. Just pull that left knee in line with your hip. Sit back onto your hips onto your heels. Forehead down on the mat. And breathe. Good. Just drag your hands back. Just rolling your spine up, just sitting up. Then take your hands behind your back, opening the chest as you lift the arms up. Good. And then take the hands in front of you, rounding out the spine. And lift the arms, reach through the heels of your palms, reaching the palms up to the ceiling, and then reaching them out to your sides. Change positions, flipping onto your back. We're going to come into our shoulder bridge series. So this is going to focus on the glutes and the legs again, but I also want a good core connection. So we're going to start with the ball or a cushion between your knees and your feet flat on the mat. Your heels should be right beneath your knees. Take your hands to your lower abdominals and tilt your pelvis, imprinting your lower back down into the mat. So your fingertips are on the pubic bone, the heels of your palms on your hip bones, and you're really tilting. And draw that belly button in, lift the pelvic floor, button your ribs down towards your hips. Imagine drawing your hip bones together. So it's like there's a little sinkhole through the belly button, drawing down into the mat, and everything's drawing towards that point. Take a deep breath in, try to open to the sides of your rib cage as you inhale, keeping your imprint. And then as you exhale, take your hands down along with the sides of your hips and start peeling your tailbone, your hip bones, your lower back, middle back, one vertebra at a time, imagining a bicycle chain, each link lifting separately up off the mat as you roll from one vertebra down to the next. Take a deep breath in. Once the hips are nice and high, we're just going to lower the hips down, squeeze the ball, squeeze the glutes as you lift back up. Inhale, lower, exhale, lift. So squeezing that ball, narrowing the waist, wrapping the glutes around your tailbone. Stay there for 6 and 5. Last 4, 3, 2, and we're going to hold the last one up. Squeeze your ball now, just squeezing the inner thighs. 8, 7, 6, 5. Try to narrow the waist. 3, 2, and 1. Then breathe in, reach the arms all the way behind you, back to the hands touch the floor. Then breathing out, drop your rib cage down first, roll through your middle back. Second, still squeezing that ball as you go one vertebra at a time through the lower back. Hip bones and tailbone come down last. And then breathe in, take your hands back along your sides. We're going to come onto the tiptoes, walking your heels in towards your body, high on those toes. Hands again to the lower abdominals. We tilt the pelvis, feel that hollowness, feel that scoop, almost using the heels of your palms to push everything together as you draw in, pelvic floor lifting, tailbone up to the pubic bone. Big breath into the sides of the rib cage. As you breathe out, we're just going to hold that imprint, hold that scoop. Just hollow the abdominals a little bit more, engage your deep abdominals, squeeze your ball. One more inhale to hold. And then hands along your sides as you exhale. Again, we're going to peel that spine, tailbone, hip bones, lower back, one vertebra at a time, lifting up off the mat. until you're all the way up to those shoulders. Once you're on the shoulders, walk your hands a little closer towards your feet. Squeeze your butt a little tighter, button your ribs towards your hips, and then drop the hips down. Squeeze the glutes as you lift back up. Inhale, lower, exhale, lift. Stay here for 6 and 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. We hold the hips high. Now try to keep your pelvis level, try to keep your knees level, and extend your right leg, lifting that right toe up off the mat, stretching the right leg long. Squeeze the ball with that right leg for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Right toe comes back down to the mat. Get the hips a touch higher. Then try to lift your left leg, lift the left foot, squeeze the ball. Look down the body, pelvis level, knees level. Don't let the knee roll over that ball. That's 2 and 1. We're gonna go one more time. Each leg, left toe comes down, hips a little higher. Extend your right leg, squeeze the ball for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Breathe in as you lower, narrow the waist. Breathe out as you lift your left toe, squeeze the ball, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Left foot comes down to the mat. Breathe in, extend the arms over your head. And then breathe out, slowly melting the spine down 1 vertebra at a time. Good. Pull your knees into your chest. Take the ball away. Just circle your feet around. Circle the ankles. And now we're going to lift your toes up to the ceiling. So we were going into some legs. We're going to come back to the core here for a moment. So we're going to stretch into your hamstrings. We're going to lift your head and shoulders high up off the mat. Press the lower back down. And then hold the right leg as the left leg drops down. Do a double pulse. Pull, pull. Switch the legs. Pull, pull. So take a double exhale. Stay there for 8 and 7 and 6. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Shoulders down, knees in. Now we're going to take the hands behind the head. Extend the legs back up. We're going to do the same movement with the legs, but add a torso twist with your hands behind your head, elbows wide. Head and shoulders come up off the mat, lower back presses down, and we're going to pulse, pulse, change, pulse, pulse. Inhale, change, exhale, hold. Now if it feels too strong with the hands behind the head, lifting those opposite shoulders up off the mat, opposite shoulder to leg. You can do the same as we were doing before with the hands behind the leg. Stay 8 and 7. Last 6, feel the sides of the waist working. And 4, 3, and 2, and 1. Take the shoulders back, draw your knees in. Take a deep breath. Good. Now we're gonna do one last shoulder bridge variation after that little break doing the core. I'm gonna lift the hips straight up into a nice high bridge. Once we're there, we just pull the knees slightly together, but gently, they're still in line with the hips. Button your ribs towards your hips. Just tighten the abdominals, tuck that tailbone slightly up towards your knees. And we're gonna lift your right knee up off the mat. Sorry, your right foot, so your knees coming into the chest, and then extend that right leg, reaching that toe as best as you can, right up to the ceiling. Get that leg long and straight, then start circling the leg from your hip. That leg is like a strong flagpole, just pivoting in your hip socket. Stay there, 6, 5, nothing else should move. 4, 3, 2, and 1. You're gonna lift the hips a little higher, lengthen the leg a little longer, reverse your circles. 8, 7, 6, 5, look down your body, check that that left knee isn't swaying. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Then take the right foot down to the mat. Let's get the hips a touch higher, relax the shoulders a little bit more, and then take the left knee up to the ceiling, stretch the left leg long, and then small circles for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and hold. Get the leg a little longer, hips a little higher, reverse your circles. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take the left foot down to the mat. Breathe in, reach the arms all the way behind you. Hips are still high, backs the hands touching the floor. And then breathe out, melt your spine slowly down to the mat, 1 vertebra at a time. Once the tailbone comes down, I want you to lift your head, lift your shoulders, reach your arms down along your sides, and just do little pulses up. 8, 7, 6, little reaches with the fingertips. 4, think ribs to hips. 3, 2, and 1. Now take the head and shoulders down, pull your knees into your chest. Take a deep breath in. And then chin to chest, we're gonna roll up to sitting and grab your band. Good. Now lay the band over the top of your knees, cross it under and hold it on top. So we've got a nice double wrap around and you're able to hold the band on top of your knees. Shift onto your side. So it's like that tabletop position we were doing before on your back, but we'll flip down to its side. So your knees are directly out from your hips, your feet are directly down from your knees, so your shins are parallel or kind of in line with the front edge of your mat. Check that your knees are stacked, and we're gonna lift that top knee. Don't let the foot go any higher than the knees. We're gonna be strengthening this muscle here. Keep your shoulders relaxed, keep your back nice and straight. Add a little pelvic floor lift and a deep abdominal connection. Let's aim for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, hold the last one up. Now try to do double time, little pulses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 more sets of 8. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take the feet back together. Again, stretch out your back, relax the shoulders, and then lift the knee and lower. Lift and lower. So exhale with each lift. Let's aim for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Feeling that muscle starting to burn. Last 2. And we hold the last one. Again, we try to pulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Take your knees back together. Take the band away. And then stretch your legs long. Extend your arm, rest your head. Roll that top shoulder back. Take the hand to the waist and narrow the waist. Sliding the hand, tucking the fingers under the lowest part of the waist. Lift your feet up off the mat and reach from the top of the head to the tips of your toes. Now take your hand to the front of the body, punch thumb at the base of the rib cage, just pull the ribs down, lift the top leg up and start circling that top leg for 6, 5, and take the hand to the ceiling. 3, keep the balance, keep your alignment. 2, and 1. Reverse your circles. Let's do 6 the other way. 5, 4. So think about your core muscles, your lower abdominals, lower back, holding you like a vice. Last one. Flex your feet. Lift the top leg. 8, 7, 6. Try not to let this lower part of the waist kind of sink down into the neck. Keep that narrowness, keep that lift through that lower oblique. Last 2. Hold the last one up. Double time with the pulse at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And take the feet back in line with the hips. Scissor the legs, the knees straight. Just sweeping from one edge of the mat to the other. Think rib to hip connection, core strong, no movement from the hips up. So they're 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Legs come back together, drop the feet to the mat. Slide your top knee forward, take the hand from the head to the knee. Other arm reaches out behind, turning the shoulders. And then circle that arm, 2 big circles all the way around the body. Pushing everything out of the way. And reverse your circle to go twice the other way. Good. And take your knees back together. Change to the other side. Pick up your band once again. Lay the band over the top of your knees. Cross it under. Hold it on top. And then shift onto your side. Prop the head up, shoulders back, knees forward, feet forward. So shins right at the front of the back. Belly button pulled in and start lifting the knee up and down. Foot goes up as well. So knee and foot should be in a line. So don't let the foot go any higher than the knee. But really press that knee up into the band. Let's aim for 10, 9, 8. Each time making sure those knees come right back together. Don't let that top knee creep a little bit behind the lower knee. That's 5, 4, 3, 2, Hold the next one up. Now we do our pulses, double time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Try to keep your neck nice and long, keep your spine long. 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And take the knees and feet together. Keep the feet together as you lift the knee up and down. Exhale to each lift. Keep going. Again, knees coming back together each time. Make each one count. Really open up those knees. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one. We hold it up, pulse it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It doesn't go any higher. Last 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Knees back together. Take the band away. And we just stretch the arms, stretch the legs, pull the shoulders down away from the ears, narrow the waist as the hand wraps around, and then lift both feet up off the mat. So just drawing in rib to hip connection, lift the top leg a little higher, small circles. 8, 7, hands to the lower abdominals. Just check that your hips are stacked, that your lower abdominals are tightened. Take the hand up to the ceiling without losing that abdominal connection. Last one, and then reverse your circles. 8 the other way. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Flex the feet, lift the top leg up and down. Breathe out and in. Let down for 6 and 5. Shoulders relaxed, neck nice and long. 3, reaching through the heels. Last 2. Hold the last one up. Double time pulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Keep that lower leg hovering up off the mat. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Feet come back in line with the hips. Try to find a little more length through the body. Scissor your legs. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take the legs back together. Drop the feet down to the mat. Let the top knee slide forward. Hand from under the head holds the knee. Other arm reaches back to the back corner of the room. Try to get the back of your hand to the floor without letting that knee come up off in front of you. Then sweep the arm all the way around over your head, out in front, down past the legs. And again, one more big sweep as if you're drawing a circle around your body with one finger. And then reverse your circles. Let's go twice the other way. Good. Roll over into your front. Reach your hands out to the corners of your mat. Take your feet out to the corners of the mat. So it's like you're an X through the middle of the mat. Draw your belly button up and away. Lift the pelvic floor. We're going to lift the chest, lift the feet, and add a quick flutter. Same there for 8, 7. Reach your fingers, reach your toes. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now you freeze. Try to lift the arms and legs a little higher. Stretch a little longer. And add one more set. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. To make your flutter a bit bigger. 3, 2, and 1. And lower everything down to the mat. Turn your arms so that your thumbs point up to the ceiling. Keep your feet anchored down to the mat. And just lift the arms as you lengthen through the spine. Inhale, lower back down. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. 4 more. Lift and lower. Reaching out to the corners of the room. 3. Last 2. Really feeling that upper back. Getting strong. Hold the last one up. Stay there for 4, 3, 2, 1. And then lower the arms. Take the hands back along your sides. And keep lifting the chest, but turn the pinkies up to the ceiling. Pinch the shoulder blades together. Inhale down. Keep the feet stuck to the mat. Exhale, lift. You're not pushing that pubic bone a little heavier into the mat, trying to lengthen out your lower back. Reach right through the crown of the head. Stay here for 4, 3. Last 2. We need to hold the last one. Lace the fingers together. Now we're going to lift the legs up and hold there for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower the chest, lower the legs. And we're going to zip the heels together. So try to touch your heels, turn your toes out slightly. And you'll lift the arms, lace the fingers behind the back, lift the legs up, squeeze the glutes, squeeze the inner thighs, hold. And then inhale, lower back down. One last time, exhale, lift the chest, squeeze the heels, lift the legs, hold there for 4, 3, 2, 1, and then take your hands under your shoulders, sit back onto your heels, stretching out your back, rest your forehead on the mat. Good, come up to all fours and try to tuck your left foot under your body. Turn the left knee out to the edge of the mat, so just outside of your left wrist. Slide your right leg back and look up to the ceiling. Open your collarbone nice and wide, and then take that chest down to the mat. Now, if you feel any pressure or pain in your left knee, flip this onto its back so you don't have that body weight on that knee if you have an injury or any pain there. Good, I'm going to change sides. So just starting to lift the chest, walking your hands back in, uncross the left leg, tuck your right foot under. Again, turn the right knee out to the edge of the mat. Your right heel should be against your left hip. And then arch the back, looking up to the ceiling. And then start to round the spine as you fold forward over your legs, resting your forehead, turning down onto one cheek, and really just letting your body weight help you open up that hip. Good, and then lift your chest once again. Walk your hands back in, uncross that right foot. And when you come up to standing, I want you to tuck your toes, lift your knees up, press into your heels. Now, I want you to bend your left knee, but keep your right leg straight, press into your right heel, and then change. Bend the right knee, keep the left leg straight. Just pedaling through the feet for 4, 3, 2, and 1, and press both heels down. Walk your hands back towards your feet with your legs straight, wrapping around the backs of your ankles or your calves, just drawing down close to those knees. Nod your head yes, shake your head no. Let your hands just hang, soften your knees, round your spine, scooping the belly button up and away as you slowly start to lift and realign your spine, coming back to standing, stepping one vertebra on top of the other. Shoulders and head come up last. Big breath in with the arms overhead. And then breathe out, just lengthening, reaching, coming into your balance, up onto the toes. Notice how it's easier to balance at the end of the session. Lower your heels down to the mat, lace the fingers behind the back, lift your chest. And then soften your knees, just swing your arms. Good, and give yourself a big round of applause if you managed to make it to the end of the class at home. Well done. We're back again. We're gonna do a HIIT session tomorrow. And then, yeah, get in touch if you have any questions or any feedback. Thanks, bye.